faith without action is dead. I like actionable stuff. I'm not big into sitting around and talking about, hey, do we see this as the problem? Or let's go fix the problem. Let's be about it, stop talking about it.
You know, we all want to be better than what we were. Best version of self, Coach says. We want to be better than the person we were last year, and that's what some of us came here to do, to have a bigger role, have a bigger stage and impact into the game. So I just think that, you know, just staying with it every day, like I said, and yeah, just being consistent as much as possible. I think that helps all of our problems.
This is the Inferno Podcast. It's the official podcast of UAB Athletics. Blazer fans, this is the place every week for an inside look into UAB Athletics. This episode is brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Welcome into the Inferno Podcast. Scott Griffin here. It's season 3 now, with the beginning of the year, episode number 2 here. And we've got the rundown for you, as always, brought to you by Legacy Credit Union, the official credit union of UAB Athletics. We are talking hoops today, and some football too, but we're going to definitely talk to Kyeron Lindsay-Martin, who's having a really strong year for the Blazers, 11.6 rebounds. Also, obviously, head coach Andy Kennedy is on board here to talk about the beginning of the conference season. Got some new staff members starting to trickle in on the football team. We'll mention those names, and one of them is very impressive that Alex Mortensen has brought in. Also, the final week of the transfer portal. A lot of activity there, as you can imagine, with some of the success from the football team. And then men's basketball, obviously we'll talk about them. And baseball, softball, baseball starts in a month, if you can believe it, here in the freezing cold, and softball in 3 weeks. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Don't forget, you can always follow the Inferno Podcast on all the socials, however you get it, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and, of course, the website, uabsports.com. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back with more. Andy Kennedy will be along here on the Inferno Podcast. Hang on. Welcome back to the Inferno Podcast. Scott Griffin here. It's time for Coach's Corner, brought to you by Pepsi and Viva Health. As always, during basketball season, we like to get on Andy Kennedy, the head men's basketball coach. What's happening?
What's up, bro?
You good?
Yeah, I'm
as good as
fine.
You can be?
Yeah, man. Just another day.
How chaotic is it to win 2 road games after 2 home losses? That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's unusual. Usually you're better at home than you are on the road. This team's had some success on the road. I guess we've dropped 2 road games, 2 true road games. But in league play, man, we've been real competitive. They've both been a tale of 2 different halves. It's South Florida, who many predict to win the league. We're the only team that has beaten them. Since we beat them at home, they went on the road and won 2 in a row. We were down 11 with about 5 to play, got the thing to overtime and got it over the hump. Despite not having any of our front court kids in the game, they'd all filed out. So we were playing 4 guards. We don't even practice 4 guards. So we were doing things that we'd never done before, but found a way to win. And then against East Carolina, we're up about 12 with about 6 to play, playing really good in the second half. Had about 3 or 4 dry possessions. They got hot. They got the leading scorer in the league, and he goes for 32 on us. Really made some difficult plays, and we tricked off a couple of free throws that gave them an opportunity to hit a 3 to tie it. Unfortunately, they did just that. So we go to overtime limping a little bit, but had enough resolve to pull it out.
Yeah, and so that's where that pre-conference schedule, I'm sure, helped you being on the road some.
Unless you're real good or real bad, you're going to be in close games. I don't think we're real good, and I don't think we're real bad.
And that's what I was going to point out, too. Your stuff is thin.
Yeah, of course.
To win, it's a thin margin.
Yeah, and especially when you get into league play. Now
you're not fooling anybody.
Now everybody's seeing it. Everybody knows, and you are who you are. You just got to be best version of yourself. And since last time we talked, our rebounding has been a staple for us in league play. That has abandoned us a little bit. Now, maybe that is because maybe the competition has rose. I don't know, but we're not rebounding it to the level that we need to. We're still really good as it relates to turnovers. We're second in the country in turnover percentage, fewest. So we garner possessions through not turning it over, and then we've been good at getting to the free throw line. Our 2-point percentage is good. We still struggle from three. That hasn't changed. We're timely in our shot making. We've had different guys sitting here today. We've got 5 guys averaging double figures,
which is great,
and a 6th right at 9 a game. So we've got a number of different guys that can step up on different nights, and it's served us well to this point.
But you guys aren't very big, and I know you always have good rebounding teams normally, so regardless where you've been. So that is a mindset, and I think that will show itself in the league play, right? Don't you think that'll get better? Because with Chapman, Martin, and Rivera, you've got 3 really good.
Yeah, and they're tough kids, and they've really, really done a good job. We've got to get our guards to rebound a little bit better because they all look at those guys, and collectively those 3 guys are getting around 24 rebounds, which is a pretty good number from your front
really
court. Good. You've got to be able to get some more out of your back court, but we are being outsized. We're 6'8", 6'7", 6'7" up front. Tough guys, physical guys, but when every game that we've played to this point in league play, our opponent has had one against East Carolina, 2 guys in that 6'9", 6'10" range that are on the court all the time. So you've got to really, really, we call it first blood. You've really, really got to be forceful in knocking guys off the ball, or just based on anatomy, they're going to reach it before you do.
But when you have a Salim London running the point, and then Chance over there, you can be fairly big in the backcourt, right? You can.
We've got Chance at 6'6", needs to play 6'6". He is really dynamic. I've said this to friends of mine because I'm from Mississippi, but I have a show me state mentality, and so I don't like to hype guys. This dude hadn't done anything in college, and he comes to us, and I knew he had talent, but he's really, really, really a gifted passer in traffic at 6'6". I think, quite honestly, the best in the history of this program. I don't think there's ever been another guy at 6'6" that can get in traffic and make the right play at the right time as consistently as this guy does it for a guy who's played less than 20 college basketball games. But I say that to now hit you with the real. He's got to get a lot better than everything else. And one of the things is physicality and rebounding. He should be because of his instincts, I think that's a gift that he has. He's instinctively around the ball, and he has a way to kind of slither through. That should make him a good rebounder as well.
He should get 5 or 6 from that, right?
Exactly. Because he has a good understanding of where the ball is. Our big guys are in there doing all the heavy lifting. They're like the offensive linemen, creating gaps for you to go get the ball. And he doesn't do it. And so that's the next step for us. We've got to get him to really rebound. Salim as a guard is typically outside. Chance we play him all over the court, but Chance is a guy that needs to rebound a little bit more. Jacob Meyer I thought was terrific. 29 points, made the game winner for us at East Carolina, but he also had 5 big rebounds and some hard ones. He's only about 6'2", but he plays with a grit. He's got some athleticism. We've got to get him to rebound consistently as well.
Has he been better than you thought, Meyer?
No, he's been what I thought he would be. You don't know these kids until you coach them, and you don't really know who's going to do what when until you're in the fire with them. Jacob is an incredible competitor. I had a pretty good career at UAB, and I only shot 20 balls one time in a game. I think he's already done it like 3 times. He takes it. He did it yesterday, and I'm for him now. I'm for him. He'll come down 1 on 4, and everybody's like, "Man, coach, that's a bad shot." But that's Jacob. If you don't let him do that, you might as well just let him stay in Greenville. That's what he does. So you've got to kind of live with the good and the bad, and hopefully the good outweighs the bad, and it definitely has with him. He's another one we lost our second home game in conference to FAU, and he goes for a donut. Doesn't score, fouls out in like 12 minutes. Yeah. What? And then he goes for 29 and 5 and hits. I think he scored 21 in the second half.
3 days later.
Bro, the swings, those swings can't happen, but you got to understand all of the guys on our team have just been role players. So, they could have a bad night, and then they're just going to not play as much because they'll just put somebody else in.
Right.
Well, I've recruited you here for more.
I
You
got it,
wanted
yeah.
more. That's why you're here. That's why I brought you here. The level of consistency, I think, is the next step for us. And if we can somehow figure that part out, I think you'll see more consistent results.
Not to do the prediction Nostradamus thing, but what do you think right now? I know it could change, but what do you think the ceiling of this team is? Is it still a third or fourth finish in the league? And, compete.
The goal is, the conference tournament this year is bizarre. I've never been a part of anything like it. There's 13 league teams, which obviously puts you on an odd number. The athletic directors, the powers that be, decided because we host the men's and women's tournament at the same site during the same period. So there's some TV windows and opportunities, and they're trying to cut down on some of the days that the tournament is. So they're only bringing in 10 of the 13 teams. So number one, our goal is to make sure we're one of those top 10.
At home.
Because the tournament's only a couple miles down the road.
Right.
I mean, we're going to save on travel anyway. I'd like to be able to participate in the tournament.
Just a little gas.
So we need to finish in the top 10. But the top 2 seeds get buys all the way to the semifinals.
Wow.
So you only have to win 2 games.
That's right.
The top 4 seeds, which we've been every year since I've been here, you always get a bye. Well, now you get a double bye, so now you got to win 3 games. Teams 5 and 6 got to win 4, and 6 through 10 got to win 5. 5 and 5. So if you finish 7th or 10th, you got to win 5 games in 5 days.
Wow.
If you finish in the top 6, it's 4. But our goal is still to be in that top 4 where it's 3 and 3. Preferably in the top 2, which is still certainly doable. We've got our next opportunity is against Tulane. I don't know when this will air, but against Tulane on Wednesday night on the road, and they're undefeated.
Yeah.
Them and Temple are the 2 undefeated teams in league play. We've certainly not helped ourselves by dropping 2 games early, but we still
But that's going to right itself. It's weird that they were both at home, but that's not normal, like you said. And you kind of equated it in some way by getting the 2 on the road right after.
Yeah, the double whammy is this, though. The double whammy is we don't play them again. So we lose both tiebreakers against them.
Okay.
We play Wichita and FAU only 1 time each. So so when you lose those games, it's like losing 2 games.
Okay.
It's like losing 2 games. So again, hopefully, if we do what I'm envisioning us doing, then it won't come into play. But it could. And not only do you lose home games, which to me is just – our last 3 years here, we've just not been very good at home, and I don't get it. We weren't good either of Yax's years at home in the non-league or the league, and then this team's already lost 4 games. We've got to do a better job because it's so very difficult to win on the road, and yet here we are winning on the road at a higher rate. We've already picked up 1, 2, 3, 4. We've already picked up 6 road wins, which typically is a good season.
No, it is.
But because we've lost 4 at home, it's put us in a precarious spot.
Obviously, no identifying factor to that the last few years.
Hadn't played good, man. And
it's not pregame meal
and again, because of the new world that we live in, not to beat that drum, it's just a different world. You don't have guys that are now in their 3rd year protecting Bartow, protecting UAB, comfortable. It's brand new. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, they're staying in an apartment or a hotel. It's home road, We just haven't played good enough to win. We were up in our conference opener against Wichita State. We led the thing for 35 minutes. We were up 16 in the second half. We have an incredible drought defensively or offensively, and we let a kid go for a career high on us and make eight threes. And we lose a 2-possession game. And then against FAU, we dug an early hole. We found a way to come back and take a lead. Again, our offense is killing our defense at times because we have inefficiencies. And because of the fact that we're still so poor as it relates to 3-point shooting, we're not rebounding it at the rate that we once were. Our margins are really thin.
I know you want to get to the point of where it's the old coach's adage, right? Where you defend so intensely that your offense is created off that.
Yeah,
there's a lot of factors obviously go into that, rebounding the ball and all that. But
that's how we won the game last night. Think about this: you go on the road, you give up 85 points to the home team. That typically, if I told you that, you'd say,
a loss.
Yeah. We make 3 3-pointers on the road, and you say there's no way you win. You get out rebounded by 9, and you're saying, how do you win that game? Well, we won it because our points in the paint, we were plus 10. Points off turnovers, we were about plus 8. Second chance points, despite being out-rebounded by 9, we were plus 6. We outscored them at the free throw line. So cumulatively, we were able to overcome some of those things. And that's really how our team is built. We were good in the open floor last night, but we're not a team that steals a lot of balls because we're trying to gap you and keep you out of our paint because we don't have a lot of size, i.e. rim protection.
Right.
So schematically, we're
so you got to play a little softer.
Yeah, schematically, and we change a bunch of defenses, which has been fortuitous for us because typically it'll create some opportunities for us in the open floor, and that was the case yesterday.
Wow. And I know you, when we talked 2 or 3 months ago, you said I've got to open up my little notebook of coaching stuff. You're still rifling through those pages and all the experiences and
small tweaks
have
here.
Have you called on anybody?
No, everybody's got their own problems.
I mean, you've been doing it so long, you can figure it out.
Yeah, I just the biggest thing that again, and if I'm going to keep doing this, I've got to. It's my new normal, and I'm not real comfortable with it. I've got to get more comfortable with it. Is understanding it when you've got so many new guys, you don't even really know what they can do. You think what they can do when they're practicing. Then you put them in games and you say, well, that's when you got to start tweaking. And now that we're in league play, which is the next chapter, and now we've got about, 17 games under our belt, now I have a better understanding of what position to put the guys in to give them the best chance to be successful. That's my job. And then they got to go out and produce.
Yeah. Do you feel, you never feel good, but do you feel comfortable with this team? I mean,
you never feel good.
They have some fight, though.
You never feel good. You never feel comfortable either.
Yeah, but they have some fight, right?
Yeah, I like the group. They are competitors. They're workers, and my hope is that with each and every game, they're growing in confidence. What is confidence? Confidence is demonstrated ability.
Yes.
So Jacob Meyer had never had 29 points in a game before he came to UAB. Well, now he's got 29 points a game. Chance Westry scored more points in a game 2 weeks ago than he'd scored in his whole career prior. So now there's demonstrated ability. Kyeron Lindsay's had multiple 20-point games. He's never had that, but that's demonstrated ability. So my hope is that they're growing into the role that we need them to play in order for us to get to that level that I was just referring to of consistency. This team has proven that we have a formula by which we can be successful. Are we disciplined enough to stay to that formula consistently? And if we do that, then this team's got a chance to reel some wins off.
And I was right by you in FAU game near the bench. And what impressed me, you're always coaching guys, and your assistants are too, but you're really involved in that. But that they accept coaching. Not everybody these days accepts coaching. Am I wrong in that this group, and there's going to be moments where they don't, but
sure.
On the whole, they're accepting coaching.
There's no question. I think we've got a very receptive group. I've thought that from jump. We got a good group of kids, but they're very receptive. But as it says in the good book, faith without action is dead. I like actionable stuff. I'm not big into sitting around and talking about, hey, do we see this as the problem? Or let's go fix the problem. Yeah. Let's be about it. Stop talking about it. And I think, again, because I'm a habits guy, I believe habits over everything. Have I told you this before?
Yes.
I think habits over ability, habits over intellect, habits over motivation, habits over inspiration.
You can count on it.
Ultimately, we are all going to boil back to our habits. I've got some good ones. I've got some bad ones. And I'm just trying to develop the habits in these guys that are necessary in order for us to reach our potential. Because the ultimate goal is best version of self, both individually so we can be that collectively. So it's just they have to be receptive. I don't think they say, Coach, you're wrong when we show them or we talk to them about how to do things. Then you have to have the discipline by which to do it, actionable.
Right.
And hopefully we're working towards that.
Are you having fun? That's a stupid question.
I'm having fun right now. I like you.
No, I know. I mean,
during the games?
Coaching. No, I know it's a grind because I see you.
Oh, man.
But on a whole, without looking back, with this group,
I enjoy.
Because you're still a purist where you want to coach and then have that receptivity you're talking about.
Yeah, I would say, not to sound like an old head, but I'm getting to be old. The game has changed. Again, I'm incredibly blessed. 19 years as a head coach, over 30 years in this space. Love it. I don't know what else I would do without it. I enjoy the preparation. I enjoy the challenges that the games bring. I do miss the fact that you can't have a guy for 3 or 4 years. Maybe you can. Maybe this group I can. I don't know. But I'd like to be able to keep them a few years to see the growth. Well, just to see the growth. You know,
Right.
Yeah, right now I feel like I'm almost shortchanging my approach because I'm looking at it in an 8-month sphere
Short windows,
as
right?
opposed to
Yeah,
you know
I get that.
overtime development, because that's just the name of the game. We know we have a handful of seniors on this team that are not going to be back, and we've got to maximize this group as they are.
All right, so let me ask you this. What keeps you in it? You don't have to do this. I know you probably think you do, but
Yeah.
Kimber probably thinks you do, but
I was out of coaching. You know, I got a forced reset. You know, some
because
people,
you were great at that, by the way.
I enjoyed it. I just really wasn't ready for it. You know, at the time. But at 50 years old, I got somebody to call timeout, full timeout. It's going to be a full, not a third. Hey, we're gonna give you a full timeout. And man, I certainly didn't plan for it to work that way, but boy, it was so valuable for me. But then, because then I started looking at, I'd never been to Costco. Costco's cool. You ever been?
Of course I have.
I'd never
I'm
been
a
to
normal
Costco.
human.
I'd never been to Costco, so I was like sitting around. You know, I was doing the TV stuff, but that's only 4 months out of the year. What am I doing the other 8 months? I mean, I was like looking around. I was like going crazy. And you
what
were
can
right.
I do? And you can only work out so much.
Yeah, you get them work out, and then you're.
What are we doing today?
Well, you're going to Costco. I'm dropping like $700 in Costco, like pickles and acorns. I mean, I don't know. And then I'm thinking, okay, it's 2:00, and I'm thinking, it's got to be happy hour somewhere. So I'm calling on my friends.
What are you doing today?
They're all
We're
at work. Take off, man. I'll meet you.
Yeah.
You know. So I got to do something.
Yeah. I don't know. I like this team, and I know you do too. So we're going to see what happens. But I think
I'd like them a lot more if we just make some more shots. We make it so.
If you made a few threes, you'd like them a lot.
Oh man, I would.
I have never seen anything like that though. Like FAU, you have 7, which was I thought pretty good number for you.
Yeah.
They have 9.
Yeah.
And difference in the game is what, 5?
Yeah, 5-point game. We just really struggled in that regard, and I know that.
And I know you got shooters.
I need some makers.
Now you're stealing Web's line. We got a lot of shooters. We don't have many makers.
We need some makers, man.
Is it different in practice?
Some days it's not.
That's what I mean, because it seems like I keep waiting on this breakout.
Yeah, me too.
11 made threes, then
We're playing Tulane again in our next outing, and they're a team that plays. You know, Ron Hunter, who was at IUPUI and then he was at Georgia State. And he plays this matchup zone, so they're going to force you to make some shots.
Amoeba,
yeah,
weird
it's kind
zone.
of, and they kind of match. And the last time we played a team that played it, they're both a little different. Richie Riley does it at South Alabama. His is a little more conventional than Ron's.
Right.
And I think we made 11 or 12 threes. So maybe we can shoot some in.
All right. Good luck. We got Tulane coming up.
Tulane, and then we've got 2 big home games. Tulsa, who's probably been the surprise of the league. They started off great, man. Eric Conkle, who was at Louisiana Tech, you know, back when we were in the old CUSA, and we had many battles. I think he's really a good coach, and this year he's got his best team. They've since lost 2 in a row in the league play. It's difficult, but a really good team that's going to be challenging. Right at the top of our league, we got them at home following up after Tulane, and then we got South Florida again. Bam, bam.
Need that one.
And that would be huge because we got them once. If you get them twice, now all of a sudden tiebreakers.
That kind of makes up for the other one,
No
right?
doubt, no doubt. So 2 big home games.
All right. Good luck.
All right, thanks, man.
Andy Kennedy on the Coach's Corner. We'll take a break here on the Inferno Podcast. Hang on.
The if in life, it's a world of possibilities. If you go for a night out with friends, if you can keep an eye on your money along the way, if you know you have overdraft protection with no fee transfers from savings, When you get a low balance alert, it's easier to say yes to fun. If that sounds good, try Regions Life Banking.
Stay ready for the if in life. Regions Bank, embrace the if in life.
Welcome back to the Inferno podcast. Here, our Blazer of the Week, Kyeron Lindsay-Martin, the man. We've already talked to him a million times, but we're talking to you again because the most recent game against East Carolina, 20 points, 7 boards. You guys went on the road. What is this deal, winning on the road, and it comes after a home loss? You know what I mean? You guys are trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we are trying to figure it out. I think it's just the mindset. I honestly think that, like, we have a team coming into our house and we think that they're just going to automatically fold. And then, like, with us going on the road, we're not going to fold for anybody. We're going to take your home court. And so I think it's just a mindset and approach, you know. And like Coach said earlier, the consistency, and that's where it starts, the approach. Our approach has to be consistent to let everything else fall through.
Yeah, it's bad to lose 2 at home, but it's like I keep saying, but to follow it up with that determination to get it on the road, that's a good thing. So it's kind of like, if we can keep that and then change a little bit of the home.
Win the home games, it'll be a different season for sure,
Yeah. Is conference play different so far? We're very early in it, but
yeah. Automatically, you know, the talent, the size, and just the skill. American Conference is a good conference. Like you said, it's still early, only, 4 games in now?
Yeah.
But, yeah, definitely bigger guys, and especially us being known for rebounding, they're going to throw their tallest guys at us. And I say it's definitely more physical than the regular season, for sure.
All right, so you're pulling 6.6 rebounds, over 11 points. There's 5 guys in double figures, which is great. 56% from the floor, 75 free throw. I think you're having a really good, solid year. So tell me what you feel like you're doing well, and then I'm going to ask you what's nagging at you that you got to work on and improve on.
I think my focus has always been the next play. You know, bad game, good game. You know, keep doing what you've been doing every day. Like I said earlier, approach. I think my approach from these past couple of years has been different this year. I think I've matured a lot, mentally and physically. And then just knowing what I got to do every day and why I came here and what I came to do. I think that's just what's driving me and keeping my head on straight for these games.
Is it cool you got 2 other guys, Rivera, Chapman, and you're not all the same player by any stretch, but you all rebound very similarly.
Yeah.
Is it a competition? Is it cool? I know your teammates, but you guys are pulling 24 in totality, which is fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, you know, any basketball player, you're going to compete internally with the guy next to you, teammate or not, even if it's the smallest thing. But, like, you know, we build off each other. Say one guy has 5 rebounds, another guy is short on a couple rebounds. We pick him up, or we like pick him up, talk to him, or we pick the job up physically. We'll, like, grab more rebounds and then be like, come on, you got to go hang with us. But, you know, we stick together, and every game we get to huddle up, 3-headed snake, like, yo, we gotta crash these boards. We got to create opportunities. So, you know, it's a competition, but within itself, within the game. But then, you know, we just keep the competition, like, boost each other, make each other better.
Yeah. Well, it's working for that.
Sure.
But every game, as Andy pointed out, you got to get guards help and everything. But you guys have been right there with 24 a game. So, again, we're early, but we are midway through the season, right? We're early in conference play. What do you think? Okay, I've got to improve this, and it could be mental, it could be a physical thing, or a skill, or something. What do you got to work on?
I say it's really all mental for me. I say sometimes, like, my mental will get away with my talent and God-given abilities. Like, I'll overthink some things sometimes, or I'll underthink some things sometimes. So I think just the confidence in myself, and it's just like getting my mentality stronger, not letting anybody deter my confidence, or not letting a mistake topple onto more, you know, the next play.
Or being afraid.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Are we talking about during a game or in preparation of a game, or
Both.
all of it?
All of it. Just, you know, from when I wake up to a tip off, or, you know, warm-ups, just whenever.
Because you're thinking about it, you know, we at, like, college guys aren't thinking about it. You're thinking about the game the day before and the night of. And
I'm thinking about everything. So, you know, just, you know, working on my breathing too. You know, breathing, slow the heart rate down, get your mind from stop racing, just things like that.
Yeah. As they say, every play has a life of its own.
Mm-hmm.
They say that for football, but there's a natural break. Is it difficult to do that in basketball? Because there's no natural break unless a whistle blows, right? Because you're going
I mean,
It's kind of constant, you know?
Yeah, it's constant movement sometimes. Sometimes it'll be dead ball foul. The medias help out a lot too. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really just a constant running game, to be honest. It's really up and down. But, yeah, nothing like I'm used to, really.
Yeah.
Especially in this league.
Do you have a better feel for your team and what you guys can accomplish than when we talked
Oh, yeah,
a month or two ago?
For sure.
So what do you see now?
I've seen a lot of bad, and I've seen a lot of really good. And I look at the bad in a positive way, too. It's like, okay, we can build on that. We can work from things that we've seen, like our defensive mistakes or what guys do, like their habits on the floor or off the floor, just like seeing that and like being able to work with them and then involve it in a game, like me and Jacob working off each other or me and Chance working off each other, just like, kind of being on the same page without having to speak is what is really, I see the team and like me especially getting better as we play.
And Andy brought up something in our conversation that I hadn't thought about, and he's mentioned it before, but it really struck today, that you guys have all been role players elsewhere. Now you're here, and now 8 or 9 of you are getting the 20, 25 minutes. So you're all kind of main players, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's got to be, it's a difference.
Yeah, and I think it adds some pressure, but good and bad, we all want to be better than what we were. Best version of self, Coach says. We want to be better than the person we were last year, and that's what some of us came here to do, to have a bigger role, have a bigger stage and impact into the game. So I just think that, just staying with it every day, like I said, and just being consistent as much as possible. I think that helps all of our problems.
I know you hadn't seen everybody, but in the 4 you've seen, you still feel good about finishing that top 4. That's always the goal, right? Get those double buys.
It's still early. We just got, one step at a time, one swing at a time, and just keep figuring out what we got to work on, check the film, and then what we got to improve on. We know we got a lot of stuff to work on, but we still got a lot of time to get better.
We know he bleeds green and gold.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
so show everybody. You got ink, man.
Yeah, I got me
All right, so
a dragon tattoo.
Does it go up and down, obviously?
Yeah, so I kind of stand up. So I'm gonna,
Yeah, and let us zoom in on that with the camera. Give it a second.
It's like the head of the dragon, but since I'm a graduated Blazer, I decided I'm gonna get a dragon, a Blazer stamped on me.
All right, so where did we get that?
I got it at Revolution Inc. Like 5 minutes up the street. I think if you just take 5th Street and go straight, you'll get right into it.
You were bored, or how'd this creation come about? And were you involved in the creation of it?
Yeah, I was involved in like the creation process, but it just kind of just came about like, this is my senior year. I want to put everything I got into the program, into where I'm finna graduate. Graduating's a big thing for me and my family.
That's forever, man.
Yeah, I know, and I'm a
graduated Blazer forever.
Graduated Blazer forever, so I think that's really why I got it. So I thought it was just a cool thing to do.
And did you do that during the year?
Yeah, I think I got here like the first 2 months of my
trainers know?
summer.
Did Cookie know? Or?
Nah, none of them knew. I just showed up to practice one day and I had it. Yeah.
What did they do? They kind of freak a little bit?
Nah, they were just like, they didn't notice it for a minute. And then they were like, what is it? What is it? And then I took the wrap off and I was like, it's a Blazer. I'm finna graduate. And they all thought it was cool and it was a cool story to tell. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is very, very cool.
Yeah,
and so tell me about the creation of it again. I'm sure he had some kind of dragon you picked, but
yeah, I was like, I want a cool dragon, and I gave him like a reference picture, and then he said he like draws it all himself because he doesn't want to like copy somebody else's work.
Right,
so I was like, just do something cool. And I'm gonna work on building a sleeve, so that's kind of what it was made for. But yeah, he drew it up. The next day I went and. Took like 6-7 hours, but the pain and everything was worth it for sure.
Yeah, what does Mom think? She's not crazy about it.
I'm tatted everywhere, but I always got to call her and make sure it's okay before I get it. I always got to call and make sure Mom's okay.
Yeah, I got you. The year's kind of gone like you think, or?
I actually didn't expect. I didn't have any high or low expectations. I kind of just wanted to take it a day at a time, but I think it's.
So how's it going then?
I say it's going good. It's going better than I thought. Earlier I didn't really know everybody. Not everybody knew each other. So I was looking at more problems than like solutions that we had. But like as we grow together, I think it's looking better than what I thought it was, to be completely honest.
Well, keep playing, keep rebounding, keep scoring.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you hanging out.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Kyeron Lindsay-Martin, power forward for the Blazers. We'll take a break. Come back with more of the Inferno podcast.
The if in life. It's a world of possibilities. If you go for a night out with friends, if you can keep an eye on your money along the way, if you know you have overdraft protection with no fee transfers from savings, when you get a low balance alert, it's easier to say yes to fun. If that sounds good, try Regions Life Banking.
Stay ready for the if in life. Regents Bank embrace the if in life.
Welcome back to the Inferno podcast. This week in Blazer Nation, we got the schedule coming up for you. As always, brought to you by Children's of Alabama. Before we get to that, though, big hire by Alex Mortensen this week, bringing on, he's got the Saban school, right? He got that graduate degree from the Nick Saban deal. He's bringing on Todd Grantham, another guy that holds that diploma. Grantham coming from Oklahoma State. He's been at Georgia before. Again, worked under Nick Saban, a very high-profile defensive coordinator. We all know that was a trouble spot the last few years for the UAB Blazers defensively for sure. So Grantham is on board as the new defensive coordinator for the UAB Blazers. Now, expect him to have autonomy from Alex Mortensen to be able to hire his own staff and the guys he's comfortable with as a linebacker coach, defensive back coach, what have you. So those announcements will be coming in as Todd Grantham makes his choices there. Now, as far as players, the transfer portal's still open. It'll be open until the end of this week, January 16th. So it's a couple of week window there. It's kind of silly to talk about transfers now. We do know guys like Iverson Hooks are gone to Oregon and Solomon Beebe to Virginia, things like that. But even until it's all said and done and that deal is signed, it's really premature to talk about it. But we will definitely have that on the next podcast that we have and kind of finalize who is definitely gone, who's definitely in the fold for UAB, because the Blazers are getting some players that have had some high-profile backgrounds as well from major Power Four conferences. So we'll let that all settle and do that instead of try to be fluid with that as we got. So we'll have that announcement coming up as well. UAB baseball will be kicking off against number 13 Florida. That's in about a month from now. That's a big first game for Casey Dunn and his team. Of course, he's still recruiting a lot of local guys. As we know, the baseball talent here is terrific. They should take a next step forward. At least that's the expectation this year. UAB softball will start a little sooner, about a week before that, and they'll be playing in a tournament at Southern Miss as well. Of course, they've got a new coaching staff, that's they're in their second year now here with the UAB Blazers. All right, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule as we go here. Men's tennis will take on Ole Miss on the 16th. Yes, it is tennis season as well, so in the cold, doesn't matter. They'll put on some sweats and hit the ball out there. Women's track, they'll at least be indoors over on the western part of Birmingham for the crossplex at the Sanford Invite. That'll also be on the 16th. And women's bowling starting their season with the Northeast Classic 16th through the 18th there. UAB Rifle is at Wofford College, so they'll take a road trip up the coast on the east there. Women's tennis will go down the road to Auburn at 3 o'clock on the 16th. So 5 events there on the 16th as well. Track will continue the next day with that Sanford Open again at the Crossplex facility. Women's basketball against Tulane at 2 o'clock. That's on the road. Women's tennis again at Mississippi State at 12 o'clock. Men's basketball, they have a Tulane game, and then they'll have this Tulsa game that's coming up at home. That'll be a big game for UAB. They've started 0-2 at home in conference play. They want to get that one and start this winning streak here at home, hopefully against Tulsa, a much improved team in the American Conference. That'll be a 2 o'clock tip on that Sunday. So there's a busy week, and we're starting to add more sports, right? The tennis, the bowling, the track, as you could imagine. And again, we'll have baseball and softball coming up on that pretty quickly. So that's our schedule, brought to you again by the Children's of Alabama. Thanks for watching this week's Inferno podcast. Thanks to Kyeron Lindsay-Martin and Andy Kennedy for hanging out with us and the guys that work so hard behind the scenes. Scott Griffith saying so long. We'll see you next time on the Inferno podcast.